Hello, everyone. I'm going to try this again since I got interrupted the last time. So, as I was saying before on the first taping, that I try to talk about my business because my business, I rather put out the truth than to have people putting out lies. And nobody know your business better than you. But I just don't like, I like using my business to reference things on because I don't like when people, when I was in the church, the pastor used to reference on people without saying their name. And I used to say, well, if I knew that person that happened to, I would know who they were talking about. So I said, I'm never gonna do that. When someone came to me in secret and told me their problems, I'm never gonna mention that. Now I can tell my problems all day long, but I'm not gonna do that to somebody else that came to me in secret. And I think that's why when I was in my 20s and 30s, people always told me their dark secrets, and I was like, I'm not a priest. Is what I wanted to tell them, but I guess they trusted me enough to tell me so. But over the years, it weighed me down. Their problems weighed me down. I just had to stop listening to it. And then years later, I found out in the Bible it says carry other people's burden, and I said, well, that's what I was doing, and I had to stop because it was weighing me down. So that's why you'll hear me talk about my business and things that happen to me in my life. Just giving you heads up on it why I do that. Let our most high words be true and every man's word a liar. I want to make sure I put that quote out so we can start getting that into our minds and let it sink in there for a while. Chapter 6, Luke chapter 6, 1 through 49, and Luke chapter 7, 1 through what was it? 1 through 50. And that's what was on my mind, but I had to make sure so I don't have to keep backtracking and redoing the tape again. Okay, y'all, let's get it started. Chapter 6. And it came to pass on the second Sabbath after the first that he went through the cornfields, and his disciples plucked the ears of corn and did eat, rubbing them in their hands. And certain of the Pharisees said unto them, why do ye that which is not lawful to do on the Sabbath days? And our Messiah answered them, said, have ye not read so much as this, what David did when himself was an hungry, and they which were with him? Yep, that's exactly how it's written in the good book. How he went into the house of Elohim, and did take and eat the showbread, and gave also to them that were with him, which it is not lawful to eat, but for the priests alone. And he said unto them that the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. At this point in time, he shouldn't have to tell them nothing, but they was just really hard of understanding who he was. I mean, I don't get it, and I know they didn't have a Bible like we do to help us and tell us the story. I understand that, but I do blame the priests and all the people that were supposed to teach them these things and people that were supposed to tell everybody these things. I blame them for it. Okay, moving right along. And it came to pass also on another Sabbath that he entered into the synagogue and taught. And there was a man whose right hand was withered, and the scribes and Pharisees watched him, whether he would heal on the Sabbath day, that they may find an accusation against him. You see that? That's so wicked. Always looking for something to say against him. So when others are doing it to you, don't feel bad, because look what they did to our most you know, holy child, our holy brother then. But he knew their thoughts and said to the man which had the withered hand, rise up and stand forth in the midst. And he arose and stood forth. Then said our Messiah unto them, I will ask you one thing. Is it lawful on the Sabbath days to do good or to do evil, to save life or to destroy it? And looking round about upon them all, he said unto the man, stretch forth thy hand. And he did so, and his hand was restored whole as the other. And they were filled with madness, and commuted one with another what they may do to our Messiah. And it came to pass in those days, and he went out into a mountain to pray, and continued all night in prayer to Elohim. Even our Messiah had to pray to Elohim. So we know we got to pray. And when it was day, he called unto him his disciples, and of them he chose 12. He chose 12, whom also he named apostles: Simon, whom he also named Peter, and Andrew his brother, James and John, Philip and Bartholomew, Matthew and Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, and Simon called Zelotes, and Judas the brother of James, and Judas Iscariot, which also was the traitor. And he came down with them, and stood in the plain in the company of his disciples, and a great multitude of people out of Judea and Jerusalem, and from the sea coast of Tyre and Sidon, which came to hear him, and to be healed of their diseases. And see now, they refer to it as diseases too. So they had disease back then, but they also had the devil off in them too. Multiple devils and demons in them. And they that were vexed with unclean spirits, and they were healed, and the whole multitude sought to touch him, for there went virtue out of him, and healed them all. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples, and said, blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of Elohim. Blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. Blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you. Ooh, I'm blessed then. And when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil. Hey, that's already, they've been in it working for 13 years. And if counting North Carolina, that's even more. For the Son of Man's sake, rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. Yes, Lord. Thank you, Lord. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. So I am joyful knowing this. Woo-hoo. But woe unto you that are rich. Well, I'm not rich. For ye have received your constellation. Good thing I'm not rich. Even if I won a lottery, which I don't play the lottery anymore, but if I had, I would have shared with everybody. That's what I was going to do back in the day. I wanted to help everyone. But that wasn't God's plan for me. So here I am. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. If somebody speak well of me, I'm very shocked. But there are some people out here that will, because they know how I was. before I let all these people, turn me away from people. Constantly trying to start things and throw my name in it. I just got tired of it. So I had to separate myself from people. And after that, which was a good thing because I seek the Lord and I found him. And I had a relationship with him and I have one with him now. So thank you all for that. Maybe that's what he was doing to push me along so I could have a relationship with him. And if it was so, it worked, you all. And I thank all of you all, troublemakers, for it. But I say unto you, which hear, love your enemies, which I do, all of them. Do good to them which hate you, and I do. For all these people who don't want you, that want you to hate your captivity people, hey, he's telling you here, don't. So if you're thinking you're going into that kingdom of heaven hating them, think again. And I know better, so that's why I love even them. Bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you. And that's why I do what I do, and that's why most saints do this. They forgive because our Most High told us to. Now, if you can find a real Bible, if this ain't the real Bible, well, this is the only Bible I know of. So until you can give me proof to go back, I'm doing what this Bible tells me to do, and the Most High will charge it to my heart. If I'm trying to lead you out straight, he will get me for it. But I'm reading the Bible that man did right, and everybody right on that. And some of these Bibles are told in different ways, and I agree with that. And unto him that smiteth thee on the one cheek offers also the other. And him that taketh away their cloth, forbid not to take their cloth also. Give to every man that asketh of thee, and of him that taketh away their goods, ask them not again. And see, you got to be careful because there's some people be asking you for stuff because they know the Bible and they know you're a saint and they know you really big on doing God's will, the Most High will, and they'll keep doing it and keep doing it to take advantage of you. Now, he ain't telling us to let them take advantage of us. If so, somebody needs to point that out to me and let me know so I won't send nobody astray. Leave a comment. I appreciate it. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. For if ye love them which love you, what thank have ye? That's true. What thank have ye? For sinners also love those that love them. That is true. That is true. That makes a lot of sense too, don't it? And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank have ye? For sinners also do even the same. You're right. And that makes a lot of sense too. Also. And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again. And for some strange reason, a lot of people like to put this one to the test on a lot of saints. And sometimes they do it on a lot of sinners too, so. But they really come after the saints with this one. So you got to be very careful with these type of people that come after you and using the Bible against their purpose. That's wicked there. But love ye your enemies and do good and lend, hoping for nothing again. And your reward shall be great, and ye shall be the children of the highest, for he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil. And so that's why a lot of times I usually now, if it's a little amount, I just tell people they can have it because I don't like when people say I'm gonna give it back to you, I promise, and then you never see it and you gotta hunt them down to get it. I don't want to go through that trouble, so which I don't lend to people anyway. So I make that very clear. People can tell you that. But now, if someone said, "Hey, lend me $5, I just give them the $5. I'm like, you know what, you can have it. And I'm not saying it so people can start doing it, because I'm not a fool either. But love ye your enemies, and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again, and your rewards to be great. And ye shall be the children of the highest, for he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil. I know I read it again. When I do a lot of talking, I like to read it again, just to bring it back up. Be ye therefore merciful, as your Father also is merciful. Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. And that's why when I saw a lot of people in my family household sinning, I didn't judge. I judged not, because I remember the Bible said, "Judge not." But then when I started pointing out people at church sinning and stuff that people were doing, saying one thing and doing another one, but I said it quietly in my house to my own saint people in my own household. So I thought that was cool. At least I'm not going to that person and pointing out their sin. I'm just telling people inside my house what I'm seeing. And then they started judging me, except for Junior. But they started judging me then. And I said, that's good, because now I can judge you all now. And I said, I think that's why the Most High wanted me to do this, so y'all can judge me, and now I judge them. But when they judge me, I changed that attitude in 3 months. If it was the fastest that I could change those things that they were talking about. Now cursing, that was a battle. Oh my goodness, that was a long, long, long battle. Until I started asking the Most High to help. Now I'm a lot better. Boy, am I a lot better. Every now and then I have that cursing spirit back, but I try to keep him locked in the closet, or her locked in the closet. Judge not, and ye should not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. And that's why I had to start forgiving people, so the Most High can forgive us, when we do wrong. And that's why I always said, they're not going to ask me for forgiveness, so I just have to forgive them on my own. And I just forgive people right out the blue. I know I'm not going to hold my breath on them. I die. So I just go ahead and forgive them. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over, shall men give into your bosom, for with the same measure that ye met withal, it shall be measured to you again. Now I am good at giving gifts, like some nice things I have in the house, and I don't want it, and it's still in mint condition, and I don't. It's out of style or something, or it can be beautiful. I just don't want it. And I'll ask somebody before I just give it away to a stranger, or give it away to somebody I know. I ask my family first. Now, when I wasn't around them, I would just give it to friends first. But now that I'm home, I always offer it to my family first. And then when they all say no, my inside house first, and then my outside family, siblings next, and then friends, if I don't have too many. So, but that's how I normally do it. And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall into the ditch? The disciple is not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be as his master. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but perceivest not the beam that is in thy own eye? And so that's where a lot of us fall in wrong, trying to judge everybody else. And I know that, and I knew that, and I said, but I'm not going out there telling these people they wrong. I'm just saying in the privacy of my own home, because I read the Bible. So that's when I started seeing things and noticed things were wrong, and I already knew my faults, and and been working on it. So I'm like, I'm not going out here telling them you're going to hell or nothing for not straightening up. But my family came at me hard, like I was the devil himself. And so I had to come back at them and start pointing out all their sins. And it took them a year before they turn it around. And me, when they come at me and convict me, I turn mine around real quick. I'm like, you call me out, I'm turning it around real quick. Except for the cursing, like I said, that was a long journey. Either how canst thou say to thy brother, Brother, let me pour out the mote that is in thy eye, when thou thyself beholdest not the beam that is in thy own eye? Thou hypocrite, cast out first the beam out of thy own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to put out the mote that is in thy brother's eye. And that's why I didn't go to people and say anything, because I knew, hey, I'm not as perfect as you are either. So I point out yours and I point out mine, which they didn't hear me pointing out mine. So they just heard me when I point out others. I'm like, I know I got sins. I know what mine are, I just didn't know how to fix them or, stop it. For a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit, neither do a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. And so that's why I never charged them with anything, because I'm like, I don't even know how to fix my own. And this was early on. I'm like, I don't even know how to fix it. If I could fix mine, I would tell them how to fix theirs. So when people started pointing things out, that's how I was able to fix mine. So I welcomed it. I'm like, cool, but don't get mad when I turn the tables on you and start pointing out your flaws. Just don't get mad at me. That's all I don't want you to do. But I love when people point it out, so that way I can fix it and work on it. But don't get mad when the table turn on you when I started pointing yours out. For every tree is known by his own fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Good point, Messiah. Whosoever cometh to me and heard my sayings and doeth them, I will show you to whom he is like. He is like a man which built a house and dig deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. So he's saying the words that within us, it's hard for somebody to shake out all the words that we learn about his Bible, telling us to do the right things and do the Most High will. That's what he's talking about. But he's using this house as an example to show you what he's talking about. But he's talking about his words, and you have them deep in your heart. So if somebody tried to trip you up, that's how I knew somebody was telling me the wrong scripture, and I would tell my husband they quoting it wrong, and then when I get to the house, I would point it out. And that's another reason you should learn. You should read your Bible constantly so you can learn when someone twisted the scripture on you. Not trying to catch them or nothing. It's just innocent. I just knew my Bible so well. I just would catch them, because you can always make a mistake. I wasn't trying to hunt nobody down for these mistakes. It just happened to happen when I knew I had just went over that chapter, and it was freshly on my mind. But he that heard and do it not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. Chapter 7. Now when he had ended all his sayings in the audience of the people, he entered into Capernaum, and a certain centurion's servant, who was dear unto him, was sick and ready to die. And when he heard of our Messiah, he sent unto him the elders of the Jews, beseeching him that he would come and heal his servant. And when they came to our Messiah, they besought him instantly, saying that he was worthy for whom he should do this. For he loved our nation, and he had built us a synagogue. And then our Messiah went with them. And when he was now not far from the house, the centurion sent friends to him, saying unto him, Lord, trouble not thyself, for I am not worthy that thou shouldest enter under my roof. Now that's a good man. He know that he wasn't worthy, and he know he was a sinner. I'm sorry. Excuse me. He knew that he was a sinner. And that's how you should be. When you're talking to someone, hey, I know I'm a sinner, but could you help me tell me this or tell me that? I thought it was just a nice thing to do. Wherefore neither thought I myself worthy to come unto thee, but say in a word, and my servant shall be healed. For I also am a man set under authority, having under me soldiers, and I say unto one, Go, and he goeth, and to another, Come, and he cometh, and to my servant, Do this, and he doeth it. When our Messiah heard these things, he marveled at him, and turned him about, and said unto the people that followed him, I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. And he's talking about our people Israel, so the chosen people. And he's talking about them. And they that were sent, returning to the house, found the servant whole that had been sick. And it came to pass the day after that he went into a city called Nain, and many of his disciples went with him, and much people. Now when he came near to the gate of the city, behold, there was a dead man carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow, and much people of the city was with her. And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her, and said unto her, Weep not. And he came and touched the bier, and they that bare him stood still. And he said, Young man, I say unto thee, arise. And he that was dead sat up and began to speak, and he delivered him to his mother. Wow, y'all, that's amazing. Now we just got to have faith that he did all these things. And I believe all these things happened. And that's why I told the Most High, you don't have to show me anything. I have faith and I believe you. But on the other hand, he did have to show me what was getting ready to happen to me once I stepped out that door. Because if I didn't see it, if he hadn't warned me, I would have lost my life that day. So that's why I thank him. I said, but I always believe in you. You didn't have to show me anything, and I believe you through faith. Faith alone, I believe everything this Bible is saying that our Messiah did. Unlike these people, me reading it, maybe the Bible is making me believe it. I don't know. I just know I got faith. And that was even when I thought you were somebody else's Elohim. So I still have faith, even though you weren't our God. That I'm like, you ain't really our God, but I have faith in you. And then only to find out after we keep reading it and then finding out that, yeah, you are our God, So I'm glad I had faith in, when I didn't know he was our God. I'm so happy about that. And he that was dead sat up and began to speak, and he delivered him to his mother. And there came a fear on all, and they glorified Elohim, saying that a great prophet is risen up among us, and that Elohim had visited his people. And this rumor of him went forth throughout all Judea and throughout all the region round about. And the disciples of John showed him all these things. And John, calling unto him 2 of his disciples, sent them to to our Messiah, saying, Art thou he that should come? I'm sorry. Art thou he that should come? Or look we for another? When the men were come unto him, they said, John Baptist has sent us unto thee, saying, Art thou he that should come? Or look we for another? And in that same hour he cured many of their infirmities and plagues, and of evil spirits. See, all this stuff is going on today. Infirmities, plagues, and of evil spirit. Ain't nothing changed. And that's how you should believe these things are coming to pass. And of evil spirits, and unto many that were blind he gave sight. Now, I was thinking that this plague, man made it, in which they did, but the Most High allowed them to make it, and allowed them to go through what they were going through. Because he's trying to get us to come to him. So he's like, if y'all don't want to come to him, to him, because now your time is getting ready to run out. That's why he's allowing them to take your body, kill your body, but your soul going to heaven. So that's why it's time to come to him. So when they do kill your body with a plague or a gun, your body already belongs to him. Your soul already up there to him. Your family can rejoice and be happy that you're going to heaven in the afterlife. After judgment day, that is. To be clear. And in that same hour he cured many of their infirmities and plagues of evil spirit, and unto many that were blind he gave sight. Then our Messiah answered, said unto them, Go your way, and tell John what things ye have seen and heard, how that the blind see, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, to the poor the gospel is preached, and blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. And when the messengers of John were departed, he began to speak unto the people concerning John. What went ye out into the wilderness for to see? A reed shaken with the wind. But what went ye out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment. Behold, they which are gorgeously apparelled and live delicately are in king's courts. But what went ye out for to see? A prophet? Yea, I say unto you, and much more than a prophet. This is he of whom it is written, Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. For I say unto you, among those that are born of women, there is not a greater prophet than John the Baptist.